What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my all new review of Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. I hope everybody has had a very, very Merry Christmas. We're now approaching the end of 2022. I cannot wait for the new year, and I hope you guys as well. But let's get into it. So we start off with Spice's Foundation. We are still at her foundation, which is giving away $5 million in vouchers, right? But the crowd, the people, they're getting pushy, they're aggressive, they're starting to push towards the stage to get the vouchers, trampling over people, and it's getting crazy. The producers are telling security, we gotta go, we gotta go. And Spice didn't want to leave. She wanted to give vouchers to everybody because she had enough to give to everybody, but she's feeling defeated because this is not how she wanted to go, and she feels like she didn't give back to her community. It's like she gave up on them because she had to leave. Well, Spice, don't feel defeated. You know what I'm saying? You cannot control how other people will react when you're giving them money. And if you thought that this was the way you wanted to do it, it's not the right way, maybe you should, go back to the drawing board and figure it out again. Because you can still do this. It's not permanent that you couldn't give enough the first time. You could still give as many as you can. We are at Scrap Soccer event. Jen is tired of playing. Fresher said, I got this. Like, I got the household. I don't like the things that Fresher says. I think he says things so people could call him out and cuss his ass out. I really do, because I don't like Fresher. I don't like Jen. So Scrap Team won. Mariah Lynn and Amara, they were in the confessional having a good time. And Mariah Lynn apologizes to Amara and say, listen, I did not expect for MJ to come when I invited Shay. I hope you don't think I want some messy shit. And Amara said, no, I know you're not, because you're my friend. And I know you would never put me in that situation. But maybe it is what it is. Or maybe it was supposed to happen this way so we can confront the issues that we have. And I never thought that Mariah Lynn was messy for bringing Shay, even if she did know. At the same time, it's just kind of like, this is what they do. This is what Love and Hip Hop does. They put you in situations of bringing people that you do have a problem with for the show. So it's really no surprise. Mama Jones has arrived, and Chrissy said when she first met Mama Jones, they got along great, but things took a turn when she decided to dictate the relationship between Chrissy and Jim. And that pretty much started when Chrissy proposed to Jim, and Nancy didn't like that. And now she's here. I don't think that Chrissy has felt Nancy hurt her side of things. But they did speak. They said hello and they kept it moving. I mean, to this day, it's been 18 years. And they haven't spoken to each other in a very long time. But when they're around each other, they just go their opposite ways. If they're around, family members or going to family events, they do not interact with one another. And that is terrible. That's terrible. Um, so now the soccer event is over. We see KK, Tierra, and Chrissy have a conversation because Tierra um wants to know what's the problem between you guys. It's been years. What is the issue? Chrissy said that she don't know. You know what I'm saying? They're not in a good page. I don't know what the problem is. I want to know what the problem is. But Sierra said, I think you know what the problem is, because tell her, KK, you know what the problem is? Yes, because that's a mother's son. I'm a boy mom. And when you're a boy mom, everything is the woman's fault. You will never find a girl that's good enough for your son. No girl that your son will ever bring around is good enough for him. It will always be something's wrong with her and nothing's wrong with him. You know? And as KK, being a boy mom, like, I raise boys, you know? And if my son likes somebody, I like somebody. If he don't like somebody, I don't like somebody. By the same point in time, she would never put herself in a situation where she is in a conflict with a woman that he's dating, because that's going to ruin the relationship she has with her son. And me, I'm a boy mom as well. I'm also a girl mom, and my son is 6 years old. So in 10 years from now, if my son is starting dating and he's going to bring a girl around, I'm going to automatically have my antennas up to wheel out the ones that's not good enough for him, that don't see it for him, that wants to use him, take advantage of him. But I'm not going to also be those types of mothers who is not going to call out their sons when their son is in the wrong. That's how I'm going to make a difference. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nancy felt like you was taking Jimmy away from her, and she did not express that the right way. You know what I'm saying? She did not feel like, you're his mom, but Chrissy's also his wife, his lady. I have love for both of you, but it's being torn. And Tierra wants to know what is the root. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the root, I believe. But Chrissy said she acting like everything was good when I came into the picture. Everything wasn't good when I got into the picture. I went through a lot with Jimmy. And it shows. She helped Jimmy get organized with his money, his spending habits. You know what I'm saying? She took on everything for him. But she does want to know what's the issue, because it's on Jimmy's shoulders now, because he has to choose. He has to split on who he has to see, because he can't, when it comes down to family events and holidays, Chrissy don't want to go. And it's up to Jim to do the house hopping, to see everybody and say, what's up, how you doing, and everything. And she wants to know what's the issue, because I wasted my time without knowing it. It's been 18 years, you know what I'm saying? To not be in a place where I can talk to my mother-in-law, have conversations, to not say hi, and it's falling on my husband's shoulders. That's a lot. That's not a position to be in. And I am currently in that position. I am the middle of my parents and my husband. They're not seeing eye to eye right now. And I have been racking my brain around what can I do to mend things, but then I realized that it's so not my place. Well, as far as like, it's not my job. You know, I cannot make somebody like somebody. I cannot force them to be in the same room with them. I can't. It's up to them. It's a very uncomfortable situation to be in when you have family members and a loved one who wants the best for you, but they cannot get over their own situations to make everything better. The fact that it's on Jimmy's shoulders and he has to like struggle and be split between my mom and my lady, and what do I do? I love them both, but they don't want to come together for me. That's terrible. That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's a very hard position to be in, you know? So Tierra is hosting a bonfire because she wants everybody to bond, listen to music, and bring that, nice, good environment to the reunion. Now, Spice is in the hotel, and it's written all over her face that she wasn't able to give as many vouchers as she wanted to, while being a little girl who struggled, not having enough books, and now being a single mom, not having enough money to feed her children, to be in a situation to give back, and I didn't give back the way I wanted to give back. I don't know what to do. But they remind her, girl, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? This is just the first hiccup. You can still give the vouchers. And she came up with another solution. Maybe I'll give them to the schools. Maybe I'll give them to the books. You know what I'm saying? I'll still figure out a way to still give out the vouchers. I mean, you still have them. It's not final that you couldn't give them away. And basically, what her foundation represents was there's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people who are fighting for a lot worse than what we're fighting for. You know what I'm saying? And they are all looking around like we're grateful. You know what I'm saying? We're blessed to be in a position that we're good to take care of our families and everything. There are a lot of people in this world who don't have that. And now Carly, she realized that fighting over petty drama isn't worth it, because there's a lot of people in this world who have it way worse than fighting over this and that. I'm like, yeah, Carly, because that petty ass bullshit of are you messy or are you not messy was some bullshit. Girl, you messy, get over it. But you wanted to create an issue about it with Mariah Lynn, and you wanted to sneak Mariah Lynn because you thought that she was smiling when you were getting your ass whooped. No, And apparently, Carly is leaving the next day. So this is her last day to make things right before she leaves. And it's Spice's birthday tomorrow as well. She will be having two celebrations, one with her family and the rest with the reunion. So Chrissy invited Nancy to talk because going through the pandemic, life is short. And all she wants to do is give Jimmy some peace. Nancy is in agreement of figuring things out because she doesn't like it when Jimmy comes over and Chrissy's in the car waiting for him to come out. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. The fact that you don't even want to come inside your mother-in-law's house because you guys are not in a good place. Ooh, I can't. And y'all need to both figure it out, but they both are very strong, hard-headed individuals. It's been a long time. She said, what you mean it's been a long time? It's been 18 years. In the beginning of our relationship, you stood up for me. When everybody was like, who is this? Who is she coming in? You was there for me. Because you said, oh no, she's a good girl. She's a right girl. You know what I'm saying? But then you became the op after one point. You switched up. So she was confused. Like, why is she treating me like this? But then she had to realize, let me put my big girl panties on. Let me think like a grown woman. She loves her son. I'm coming in as a new woman in her life. I'm changing everything. He's changing. And you want to control everything. And that wasn't good. You created a wedge between us. And Nancy admitted it. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to get control of not trying to be in control, And She was being unfair to Chrissy. You know what I'm saying? Because she felt like her feelings didn't matter. And I remember, the way that Nancy treated Chrissy with everything that she wanted to do with Jim, because she said, "This is my life." You know what I'm saying? Especially when it got to the wedding. She wanted this, but Nancy wanted this. And, she didn't even know how to navigate of loving her son Jimmy, but also having a space to love Chrissy. Because, of course, Nancy felt like her son was being taken away from her. But Chrissy expressed her hardest moments. Her mother passed away when Jimmy came into her life. And she assumed that Nancy would have been there for her. But Nancy didn't know how. She didn't know how to be there for her. But she said, "I think you could have, because you knew what that felt like." Because Nancy lost her mother too. And she didn't know how to express or give Chrissy the same support. Either Nancy never received it when her mother died and did not know how, or did not learn how to give it back. Because you would think, you know what I'm saying? I lost my mom. And I would think that if I'm coming in to your family, you're bringing me on, you're loving me as your own. Why wouldn't you be there for me when my mother passed? I would think that that would be the greatest time for us to bond, for us to come together. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard. I felt bad for Chrissy in that moment. I said, "Oh, I did not know that. Oh, Nancy, you wasn't there for her for that? Wow." But considering the fact that Nancy admitted it, that she did not know how to be there for her, it was a whole new Nancy that Chrissy has never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And they both agreed to get to a better place. She tells her, "I'm not expecting you to change. I'm not expecting you to be an angel. I want you to be just a little bit nicer to me." And it was a nice moment between them, because they're both kind of the same person. They don't show their emotions. They're very hard. They're very strong. You know what I'm saying? They don't show vulnerability. They just tough it up and move on and move forward. But they both need to express how they're hurt. And, Nancy, it always bothered me on how you wanted so much control of their relationship, how you wanted Chrissy to be this perfect daughter-in-law in your eyes, but there's no such thing. And, I don't know why you were acting like this for Chrissy. Chrissy wasn't the first woman that Jim brought around, but I guess she was the first woman that he wanted to be in a serious relationship with that could lead to marriage. And you couldn't accept that. But it wasn't like he was a teenager. He was over 30 years old. How old is Jim now? 50? I know Chrissy's 50, but how old is Jim? Like, you are not baby, like, don't baby him. You know what I'm saying? He a grown ass man. Let him live his life. You know what I'm saying? It's really a balance of having your family, especially your parents, be involved in your relationship. You have to create that boundary. You have to create that balance of not having to be so much involved in your life, because they will try to take over and control it. That's what happened in their relationship. But moving on, Amara and MJ, they had a conversation because MJ expressed the open mic night that he still loves her. You know what I'm saying? He still has a lot of love for her. And he felt that in the relationship between him and her, he wanted to protect her. He wanted to be there for her. And when it came down to her dealing with Alan, he didn't feel that protection. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think of me or think that our relationship was worth it to not tell me you were dating Alan. Like, you didn't care about me in that way. And Amara expresses that she did hurt him. You know what I'm saying? She's apologizing. But at the same point in time, she did not purposefully date Alan to spite him. And I will never forgive Prima Donna for what she did to Amara on the last season of Love and Hip Hop Miami, when she brought his ex to tell Amara that he's a bum, he will use you, and this and that and the third. And Amara took that and created an argument for it. But wanted to clear up the misconception. She did not date Alan when they were still together. You know what I'm saying? We were broken up, and the relationship between her and Alan, it didn't happen overnight, but she doesn't regret on getting involved with Alan because she has her two beautiful daughters. But it's still not sitting with MJ, even though he introduced her to Alan. It still was like a conflict. It still was like, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like, that shouldn't have been, a thought in your mind. If you wanted to move on, you could have moved on, but why would you move on someone that I introduced you to? So the timeline that MJ is like thinking in his mind, and I really can't blame him for thinking like that, but Amara is gonna say it to the cows come home. I was not with you when I got with Alan. We were broken up. And I did not date him to get back at you. That's not what I did. And I really do feel like that was the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I did not understand it fully the way that MJ explained it. I can see. I really could see how he could feel a way of the timeline, the situation, and everything. But and then the situation was reversed, and she introduced him to her friends, and they break up. And a couple of months later, a year later, he's dating one of her homegirls. I can see where her head might feel away. I can see where she feeling like, oh, word, is that what we doing? So with that situation, he still feel like you should have never got involved with him in the first place, and you should never have babies by him, because he's still going back to when they were in a relationship and they were talking about having children, and it hurts him that she was able to have that with someone else. But he can't blame the babies. The babies are innocent, you know what I'm saying? And they both are still attracted to each other. They both have a lot of love for each other. Is it enough for them to try? I don't think so. As far as for Amar, she's not ready to get back into a new situation or get back in an old situation after getting out of a other situation, but are they in a good place to be friends? I don't know. Are they cool? Yes. But I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because they both admit, and when they hug, I'm like, y'all so freaking cute. It's adorable. It's it's adorable how cute they are. You know what I'm saying? They was sitting in the confessional, talking about going through a lot of frustrations and anger. And come to find out, they never hated each other when they were broken up. They just never knew how to talk. They did not know how to communicate because they were both still in their emotions. They were both still hurt, you know? And hopefully, I don't know. I can't put a actual like future if I want MJ and Mar back together. I don't know, because I still feel like MJ don't know what he wants as far as like in his career. Is he still singing? What's up with his stymie hats? Is he still having a collection? So it's the night of Tierra's bonfire. It's a place for everybody to bond, get to know one another, and tell their stories, because she's thinking about getting back into her music, because a lot of people are telling her, you need to get back into your music. So it's kind of nice to be around people who've had struggles of being in the music industry. And Shekinah. Shekinah is in the building. She come to support Spice for her birthday, but she will start some drama. Chaotic knows Shekinah. They met when he was in Atlanta many years ago, had good energy, but he knows she can come with the bullshit. And Shekinah's already started, you know what I'm saying? She is introduced to Gunplay. She wants to know what type of name is Gunplay. And I think Kaya was in the background. She said, nobody asked you. And I don't know. I think she said something to Fresher, but she kind of knows everything. She's nosy as hell. And Lyrica came in, and Lyrica wanted to shake her hand, and she said, oh, I already know you. We good. And I was just kind of like, whoa, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Lyrica said that they talked briefly on Instagram, but if you want to just not shake my hand and say, oh, you know me, we cool, but I don't know you, I see where you at. It's up. I don't know where the hell she kind of want to just dismiss Lyrica. Where did that come from? That was rude. She kind of don't be like Carly. Please don't. You coming off as Carly right now. You know what I'm saying? You starting shit that needs to be starting. So Tierra gets on the mic. It hasn't been 10 years since she performed, but it's been pretty close. And she sung her song, Sponsor. Oh my God, I'm looking for a sponsor. Oh, I love that song. I played that video like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? And that song wasn't played on the radio because they didn't like what the lyrics meant. Like, why would you want to sponsor? But yet T.I. had a song about you can get whatever you like. So why was it like not cool for her to want a man who can buy things for her, but T.I. can make a song to buying everything for a woman? Yeah. Crazy how they were controlling radio plays back in the day and still to this day. But of course, y'all letting everybody say what they want to say now. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of women who are pretty much saying the same things that she did back in the day. And a lot of people were singing her songs. Chaotic was a big fan. He was killing me. And Alexis didn't even know that that was Tierra who sung the song Sponsor. Like, that was my song from back in the day. And everybody was like, yes, Tierra, yes, yes. And messy Shekinah wants to whisper to Chrissy, did she ever pay 50 Cent his money? I was like, Shekinah, no. This is not the time for that. Chrissy said, I'm not for the bullshit. Don't put me in that. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know about that revenge corn case. You know, the whole thing about her paying 50 Cent, 50,000 in damages. She hasn't paid him yet. I don't know why he's asking for it. He ain't gonna never get it. But Chrissy didn't like the fact that she kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, this is so not the time for it, and I'm not here for you. I'm done. I was happy that Chrissy did not feed into that. Because, like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Nope, nope. And Nikki Baby gives her best friend some props. Like, you did that shit. You know what I'm saying? You killed it. And she was so nervous getting on stage. But when she got on stage, it was like riding a bike. She got it. You know? MJ got on stage. He sung a song that I really could not get the melody. He wanted Amara to come closer. He's still playing games like he wants to be with her. Amara don't know what to do with this. Like, okay, is he acting like he wants to get back together with me, or is he just playing? Like, I really don't have the time to get back into something that I'm not really ready to get into yet. But she wants to support. And Shay is minding her business. She do not know what's going on between them, and that's how it should be. But her mom might have a problem with it. Her mom thinks that MJ is naive enough to get back together with her. If they're both with different people, then his mom will be happy. Everybody gives MJ credit. He's actually talented. I've heard MJ songs before. He can sing. I guess in this moment, I really could not get into it. But they was liking him. You know, liking his songs and everything. So throughout the reunion, Jen has been hearing from everybody that they're couple goals. Everybody wants to be like them. I said, who lied to you, Jen? Who is telling you guys? You guys are couple goals. Y'all not couple goals. You know, but at this point, she's tired of hearing that. I want an end goal. I want to be somebody's wife. I've been engaged with this man for 16 years. We got married. We got together very, very young. And at some point, why wouldn't he marry me? Because he don't want to marry you, Jen. He don't. You know, y'all been together since middle school. So Mariah Lynn talks to Chrissy. Chrissy had a conversation about Nancy, how they want to see eye to eye, and Nancy don't know how long she has. So she wants to make things right while she has the time. She kind of yelling at Spice on the phone. Bitch, where you at? I'm here for your birthday. You know where I was. I was coming to town to see you. But make the best of it tomorrow. So Shekinah, Nikki, and Tierra, they have a conversation. The bonfire was nice. They enjoyed seeing Tierra perform on stage. But then Shekinah talks about the sex tape. And I never did it. I never put it out. You know what I'm saying? And long story short, you know, the case was dropped. You know what I'm saying? They dismissed her case and she has to pay 50 cents legal fees. But he'll get it when she got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how long that'll be, but I don't know why 50 Cent is even sweating for it. Like she said, he can shit 50 grand. What's he complaining about it for? I don't know. But she kind of wanted to make it seem as if since she got her own court case going on, maybe she can hear what not to do, what to do. How about don't talk about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you bringing this up? You so freaking messy, Shekinah. I swear. It's like Shekinah is messy when we need it to be messy, but she's also messy when it comes down to her getting into some shit. Like she said, she's not a fighter. If you're not a fighter, why get into some shit? You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, talking about how she wasn't really happy at the bonfire. She was feeling some type of way towards Lyrica. And I couldn't understand what she kind of was saying when it came down to her beef with Lyrica. Yes. Apparently, you know, Lyrica messaged Shekinah online for her to promote her song, and Shekinah did. But later, when she got another message, it said follow back from Lyrica. So Tierra summed it up for me. If you received a message from her and her page said follow back, that means she's following you. You're not following her. I don't get it. I couldn't understand nothing that she kind of was saying about not being followed back by Lyrica and her not knowing her. I didn't like that. Shekinah, you getting on my damn nerves. Please don't come up with an excuse to have a problem with Lyrica because she didn't follow you or didn't know you. I don't know. I'm not even going back that rabbit hole because it's stupid. You bringing Carly energy and I don't like it. This is not a big deal. We're not going off of likes and following and this and that. It's stupid, you know, and you're not a fighter. So just stop, okay? But they're going to have a pool party for Spice's birthday tomorrow. We get Jen and Fresher. Let me see if I can sum it up the right way. So, Jen is tired of hearing that there are couple goals. We're the best thing. Everybody want to be where we're at, but we're not married. I deserve to be somebody's wife. How long do you expect me to be your fiance? He said until you say let's go to City Hall, you're gonna always be my fiance. I want to punch him in his fucking face. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? How is it you want to be Mr. Perfect, Mr. Couple Goals, Mr. I'm this and that, but yet you don't want to put a date for us getting married? What's the problem? He's saying how he doesn't want to spend $250,000, $250,000 on a wedding. And she said, okay, well, if we're planning for our son to go to college and we're planning on making sure he's good and all, how could we not plan for a wedding? I know things will happen overnight. That's why you plan for things that you want. I'm confused. I don't understand what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? How invest that type of money is smart, not investing it in a wedding. And then he says that a man is supposed to hold down the household and she hasn't worked in years. What does that have to do with anything? If you are the breadwinner and you must have told Jen that she don't have to want for nothing, don't want to have to ask for nothing, baby, I got us. You cannot get mad if she did not contribute to the household, if that's what you wanted her to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, Fresher. When she said you were struggling out to be an artist, she helped pay for studio time. She helped pay for things to get off the ground. So what are you talking about? She hasn't worked in years. Worked in years when you had the money and you wasn't asking for her to help out. Help me understand that. Like Fresher is an asshole. Fresher has the audacity to think that he holds all the cards when he didn't have anything to begin with. It was all Jen. What the hell? And he's not communicating clearly of why he doesn't want to spend that money on a wedding. I get it. Sometimes having a huge wedding, spending all this and that third, it doesn't mean you're going to have a good marriage. All he has to do is say, listen, babe, I know you want a big wedding. I want to give you a big wedding, but I don't want us to spend that money and it's not going to work. I want us to have a good wedding on a good budget. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't have a really nice wedding on a good budget. In between 20 and 30,000, you can. But he's not explaining it that way. And that's what's pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? I want to punch this dude in the face about how if it's not City Hall, we're not getting married. I have nothing against City Hall. I wanted to go to City Hall when I got married, but I don't regret how I got married. I think that's a cheap route that he keeps on going. And to me, it's coming across as Jen is worth a courthouse wedding. A woman who's had your children, a woman who has taken you back when you cheated on her multiple times, and all she deserves is a City Hall wedding. And she says it, I'm not a City Hall bitch. And she deserves more. And she does. Like, come on now. I feel like Fresher is looking at Jen how he wants to look at Jen. She only deserves this. She don't deserve nothing else. I feel like, I can't even come up with the words because it was annoying me. And I looked at Fresher's income. He made $2 million in 2022. Okay? So, what are you not doing with the money that you don't want her to know about? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that she's talking about being broke as being broke. I think she says if you want to say how $250 isn't a lot of money, that's broke behavior. Because sometimes people who have money, they don't clock prices. They just spend it. But I feel like if it came down to Fresher doing what he wants to do and it was around that money, he wouldn't think twice. He would definitely be selfish and spend what he wants to spend because it makes sense to him. It doesn't make sense to her. So he keeps saying, watch your mouth, or this will be this will be that, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to throw it in her face and give an ultimatum, keep coming at me, we're not going to have no wedding. She said, when we broke up for 2 years and you were collecting trash, I was doing me. I found myself and I realized I can do this on my own. So how you want to give an ultimatum to a woman if she don't give with a program? If memory serves me correctly, you were crawling back to her, begging her for forgiveness because you're the one who fucked up. So I'm confused. I keep going back to their season. When he was kicked out of the house, he slept on his grandmama's couch and kept begging her to take him back. I think that he knows what he has and he doesn't want that to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the one who fucked up. You don't want nobody else to have what you have, but you don't treat her like she's worth it. I don't understand. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with him saying that $250,000 is a lot of money on a wedding. That he needs to communicate that in a different manner. Stop saying it's final. No, and there's a courthouse. A courthouse isn't the only option to get married. You have other ways of getting married. You can have a destination wedding. You can have a beach wedding. You can have a picnic wedding. Like, there are other ways you can have a wedding that you can have it in the budget that you want to have. He's being so final how if it's the courthouse or nothing, Jen, leave. Because he's not going to marry you. If you're not doing what he wants you to do, he's not going to do it. And I feel like he is not in a position to tell you what you need to do in order for you to be with him. That's fucked up. I don't like Fresher. He's an asshole. He's arrogant. He's misogynistic. Like, you're not, like, we could go back to your season, Fresher. You were not a good man to Jen. You weren't. Oh my God. I was so disgusted with him when he kept on saying that. I was like, this nigga is on some bullshit. I'm sorry. Because I'm rambling because I just cannot. I just cannot. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned next video and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.